Welcome back, everybody. I am Uhfgood, and today we're continuing with the rollerball tutorial. And see something here. Let's shrink this guy down a little bit. Right, that works. Okay. So last time we pardon my hair and pardon the headphones. If you notice here, these were free gift headphones for something that we bought, and the the actual things here, I don't know what you call these, but they broke. So they still work, but the actual plastic pieces that held it to my head broke, and it broke on both sides. Just because I was, doing this a lot, and one behind my ear and stuff. So, oh, there is one thing that I did forget, and that is, where is it at? Gadgets. Here. I always seem to forget this for some reason. But that's okay. We want to keep this, I believe, always on top. Okay, so this looks kind of weird. This is the one ear that's broken, but it's okay because I got some sort of bracing so it doesn't get worse. Although up here it's messed up. But since the actual headphones still work, I'm using them. So okay, so where were we? Let's click continue. Let's see where it goes to. Where? There we go. Moving the player. Rollerball game setup. Okay, setting up the game, moving the player. Okay, so let's see what we got here, and I'm still haven't started that yet. And okay, so we'll give it 8 minutes. Let's see.
Now we are going to move the player game object. First, let's think through how we want this player game object to behave. We want to have the sphere roll around on the game area, bump into walls, stay on the ground, and not fly off into space. We want to be able to collide with our collectible game objects and pick them up when we do. This requires physics. To use physics, the game object needs a rigid body component attached. To attach a new component, we must first select the game object we want to attach the component to. In this case, we will select our player game object. Then we can either choose the component menu and select physics rigid body, which would attach this component to the game object we have selected, or use the Add Component button in the inspector, choosing Physics Rigid Body. Either way, this attaches the rigid body component to the selected game object.
Okay.
If we choose to, we can rearrange the order of the components on the game object using the Context-Sensitive Gear menu in the upper right of the component. Doing this has no effect on the performance of our game. However, having a consistent order to the components on our game objects may help us speed up our development by keeping or maintaining an organized project in hierarchy. Don't forget, you can collapse or expand the component view by clicking on the component's title bar. We should note that whenever we do this, this will also toggle the relevant gizmos for that component in the scene view. Now we need to get the player object moving under our control. To do this, we need to get input from our player through the keyboard, and we need to apply that input to the player game object as forces to move the sphere in the scene. We will do this by using a script that we attach to the player game object. First, let's create a folder in our project view to hold our script.
Okay, so it's already going into the script, so let's go ahead and add the rigid body like you was saying. Okay, that's there, so that's alright. Select it. Okay. That? Alright. Actually, yeah, alternately, I think I can do F, right? Okay. So, let's add a let's go ahead and add a rigid body. Okay. And it didn't say what to it didn't actually tell us what to set these to, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like it is. And it already has a sphere collider, which is interesting, so I guess I didn't need to add that, which is fine. Okay, so
assets. In the project view, click on the Create menu and choose Create Folder. Rename this folder Scripts.
Scripts.
Next, let's create a new C# script. To create a new script, we have some choices. We can choose Assets Create to create our new C# script, or we can use the Create menu in the project view. But what might be more efficient in this case would be to select the player game object and use the Add Component button in the inspector. The Add Component menu contains the selection New Script. This allows us to both create and attach a script in one step. First, let's name this script Player Controller.
Player Controller.
We can choose the language of the script, which will be C#, and then click on Create and Add, or simply hit the Return or Enter key to confirm our selection. Unity will create, compile, and attach this script to our selected game object. We should note, this way of creating a script will create that script asset on the root or top level of our project view. We will need to move the asset into the scripts directory in order to maintain an organized project view. If we select the script in our project view, we see a preview of the script asset in the inspector, but this text is not editable. Let's open the script. We can do this a number of ways. When we are inspecting a game object using the script, we can use the context-sensitive gear menu. We can double-click on the script asset in the project view, or we can use the Open button in the inspector when we have the script selected in our project view. This will open our script in our preferred script editor. First, let's remove the sample code provided in the base script.
Okay, so before I do anything else, let's go ahead and do all of what he said there. So let's go ahead and add a component, new script, and let's call this, oh, no. Let's go ahead, sphere, add component, new script. Okay, whatever. We'll call it player controller. Create and add. And where did it just add it to? Huh, I don't even know what, where did it add it to? That's not what I want. Okay, so there's a problem here. Oh, okay. Oh, it's actually in there. What am I thinking? Of course. Okay, I just wasn't there. That's okay. So create folder, and let's call this scripts. And let's put the scripts in there. And that's the way I want it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So now it's in here, I think. Okay. And there we got the thing, and now we want to open it. The script. It'll open it in this, of course. And now let's go ahead and jump it back just a tad.
Use the context-sensitive gear menu. We can double-click on the script asset in the project view, or we can use the Open button in the inspector when we have the script selected in our project view. This will open our script in our preferred script editor. First, let's remove the sample code provided in the base script. Next, let's...
Alright. So let's remove this. Okay. Alright.
Think. What do we want to do with this script? We want to check every frame for player input, and then we want to apply that input to the player game object every frame as movement. Where will we check for and apply this input? We have two choices: update and fixed update. Update is called before rendering a frame, and this is where most of our game code will go.
Oh, it was
Fixed
already
update,
there.
on the other hand, is called just before performing any physics calculations, and this is where our physics code will go. We will be moving our ball by applying forces to the rigid body. This is physics, so we will put our code in fixed update. What code do we need to write?
Okay, so if I control Z here. Okay, so, alright, I didn't actually need to delete that, except maybe I'll have to recreate start later. We'll leave it.
We know we need input.
Oh, this needs to be fixed update, right? Okay, so let's just add fixed. That.
But how do we find out more? There is a shortcut in MonoDevelop that searches the Unity API. On the Mac, it's Command plus single quote, and on the PC, it's Control plus single quote. Select the item you want to research, in our case, input, and hold down the Command or Control key and type the single quote button.
Alright, so we're going to do what it says, input. We're going to do, I don't know if I'm supposed to select it or what. I'm going to see what happens when I do Control plus single quote. I'm not sure what just happened, because this is not MonoDevelop. Close that. Oops, I'm not sure. Okay, whatever, it doesn't really matter.
This search brings up every reference in our documentation related to input. Select Input at the top, Interface into the input system. This brings up the page on...
Okay, so I'm gonna have to do oh, what did I just do there? Interesting. Huh. Input from metadata. I'm not sure what to do about that. Alright, so let's let's go back to, let's pull this out of here. And what's this called? Visual Studio Code or something? Code Studio. Visual Studio. Visual Studio up search. I don't even know if I got this right here. Control, there we go. It doesn't work, right? It doesn't work because this is Visual Studio, not like MonoDevelop. Oh, no. Control plus okay, Unity. Right, MonoDevelop, right? Stop. All right, I guess we'll have to cut it on this video, and we will figure it out for the next video. So thanks for watching.